Hello everyone, my name is Stephen Murray and I'd like to welcome you to another episode of The Gift of Giving. For those tuning in for the first time, this program focuses on foundations, non-profits and 501c3s right here in the state of Nevada, making our part of the globe a brighter and better place for everybody. And this week's guests are certainly no exceptions. We have Kimberly Kindig, she's the CEO from Candlelighters Childhood Cancer Foundation, and we also have, Danny Landis, beg your pardon, and you're the Family Services Program Coordinator for the same organization. So thank you both for taking time out of your very busy schedules. I know how hectic they are, and being with us here today. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us.
Oh, it's a pleasure, and you guys are doing the Lord's work. There's no question about it. So first of all, Kimberly, let's ask you, give us a brief overview, if you will, of the organization, how long it's been around, and just its mission in general, overall.
Candlelighters Childhood Cancer Foundation of Nevada has been around now for 45 plus years. It was started in 1978 by two families who both at the time had a child diagnosed with cancer. And during that period of time in our community, there were very few resources available to families like theirs. So they built Candlelighters with the hope that it could be a family network for all of the other families in the community who were facing childhood cancer, but also be a beacon of hope for years and years to come. And staying true to that mission, we try to provide all of the services that families need from the time of diagnosis through treatment, remission, and sadly at times loss. And we deliver that work through three key areas: financial assistance, emotional support, and quality of life programming and services, so that our families have the circle of compassionate care that they need to get through a childhood cancer journey.
Wow. Well, they've certainly accomplished their dream or their goal, because how long have you been around for? 45 years. That's a long time. So, boy, it's amazing how you just kept this program going and presumably expanded upon it. And do you cover the whole of the state of Nevada?
We primarily focus on southern Nevada.
But if people reach out to you from northern, you
absolutely, we're here to provide them support. And I love what you said, though. I think one of the privilege and honor of me being able to serve Candlelighters is knowing that we continue to be a family to these families, just like our founders, and we're able to continue their legacy.
Yes, it's nice that you do that. And what was the catalyst that made you join?
Well, I was born and raised in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I always knew that I would be involved in helping others. And so my career has always been in nonprofit leadership and mostly social services. And so when the opportunity to be the next leader of this organization was presented to me, I just knew that family is at the heart of everything I do, and Candlelighters just truly aligned with who I believe I am as a person. And it's truly, for the last 5 years, has been just a wonderful, humbling experience.
I'm sure. I love the focus on the family aspect that you have in this organization. It comes across very loud and clear, certainly on your website it does, and I'm sure in everything you do. So, Danny, let's talk to you. And first of all, congratulations, because you are a cancer survivor.
Thank you very much.
And how long is it that you've been cancer-free now?
Well, my journey started very long ago. So I've been in remission for about 23 years now. I'm 25.
Wow.
Yes. So while I've been with Candlelighters for 1 year as a Family Services Program Coordinator, my journey with this organization started at the very beginning of my life when I was only a year old. And, at the time we were in a different state, but it was Candlelighters just the same. We have independent branches, so we're not connected, but there's still Candlelighters in other states. And it was just my mom and I when we started our journey. So we were very alone. We didn't have much support, whether it be financial or emotional, and it it would have stayed that way had it not been for Candlelighters. So they not only supported us financially, but they gave me a place to be a kid, especially because I started so young.
Yes.
So, you know, eventually we moved to Vegas, and it was time for me to start, you know, discovering where I wanted my future to go. And when I saw that posting from Candlelighters, I actually, I begged Kim to please give me an interview. I slid into their Instagram DMs and I asked for an interview because I just really wanted to be able to give back to this organization.
It's become your passion as well as your passion.
Well, and just a funny story about that too is she had volunteered with her husband at one of our events, and we actually used a picture of them in some of our materials and what have you because they were so much fun and so supportive. And so, you know, fast forward months later, I get to meet you know, the woman who has joined our team and been just such an inspiration and a bright light for our families.
Well, you certainly are an inspiration because you were diagnosed with cancer at an extremely young age, and for it to be in remission for 23 years, that's no small feat. That's some major accomplishment, so congratulations on that. And it's nice that you're giving back to the community and you're offering hope. Clearly you're offering hope.
Yeah.
That, you know, letting people know there is a path here. So congratulations on that.
Well, thank you so much.
I did notice on your website, and again, it comes back again, you had your core values are family first, and you've got above and beyond, and infinitely compassionate and trusted ally. Would you like to talk about those values for a few moments? Because they're very good values to have for an organization, certainly as the foundation of an organization.
We absolutely believe in our core values. And even though I believe these were the core values of the organization before I came on board, we actually as a team created them about 2.5 years ago. And just to give you a little bit more insight into our staff, right, we have individuals who've been with our team as long as 18 years and as new as 1 year. And so to be able to bring folks together and have unanimous agreement about, you know, that we are family first, above and beyond, infinitely compassionate and trusted ally, was such a great moment for our team and our organization. And while 3 of them are in no specific order, we knew that our core value, family first, was by far the first, and it ties back to, you know, our foundings as a family. It also goes further along that we know that when families are faced with a childhood cancer journey, they don't know what they need at that time, and we see ourselves as an extension of their family that they may not know that they get or that they need, but it's really important for us to help them navigate the same way that we would navigate with our own families. Above and beyond is really about, you know, doing whatever it takes to be able to help each other, but also help our family. Infinitely compassionate. This is a very challenging and hard experience. And so, you know, I think just by being there for families and just by being there for each other, there's so much power in that I think sometimes we forget. Yes,
that's a very good point. You know, that there's a lot of people out there that are really alone, and there's nothing like a great support group that helps with the attitude. So
absolutely,
you clearly focus on that.
And the last one with Trusted Ally is really about, you know, being in this medical space. We've walked this walk thousands of times, and so we're able to provide them with knowledge and, you know, just a helping hand to help them navigate. And, you know, sometimes the medical words or the jargon can feel overwhelming, and so we're there to just help them break it down and let them know that, look, like we will stand by you, you know, shoulder to shoulder, hand in hand throughout this journey.
Yes, they're there from beginning to end. That's fantastic. Stay with us. We're going to take a little brief sponsorship break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about some of the programs that Candlelighters offers to its family members. And let's take a break. We'll be right back.
At Lucia Capital Group, we've been helping people manage risk and plan for their future through some of the most challenging market conditions. Volatility in the stock market will never go away. So it's really all about your strategy and how you react to it. Our bucket strategy aims to help you manage your financial goals even during the most uncertain times. I'm Joshua Dowden. I've been working with clients here for more than 16 years, and I can help you as well. My office is right here in the heart of Summerlin, just north of Charleston Boulevard. Don't let the stock market determine the quality of your retirement. Call me today for a free consultation. 702-508-6421. That's 702-508-6421.
Welcome back, everyone, and I'd like to thank Lucia Capital Group, Joshua Dowden, for being a sponsor of this program and for all the financial advice that he's given me over the years with my 401k retirement. Hope you'll consider him for yours. And I'd like to welcome back Kimberly and Danny to our program from Candlelighters. Thanks again for being with us. And I'd like to talk about some of the programs that you have right now, and let's start with you. You've got 3 different levels. You've got the emotional support and the quality of life and financial assistance. So let's talk about the emotional support ones first. You've got a teen scene, you've got art therapy, you've got counseling, and a day of remembrance. So would you like to tell us a little bit about each of those programs?
Absolutely. So when a family is going through a childhood cancer journey, it's obviously a traumatic experience for everyone in the family, and I think that's really important. You know, at Candlelighters, we focus on not only the diagnosed child, we focus on the sibling as well as the parents, and all of the programs that we provide are intended to help the family unit. And we know that when the family unit receives the emotional support they need, during or after, it results in better health outcomes. So you mentioned a couple of the different types of opportunities that we provide. So particularly with our teens, we have a teen scene group. We also have a siblings group too, and that's dedicated to our young people 13 to 17 years old. I think it's hard enough being a teen. It's certainly very challenging when you're facing cancer or you have a brother or sister who does. And so these are just monthly programs that we can bring the kids together in a safe space to do a structured activity so they get to know each other, and then give them informal time to connect and go through it. And I'd love to just talk to Danny a little bit, because she actually leads these teen scene programs, and I was wondering if you would just describe like the last one that we've done, and also what you see as the the biggest impact that our young people have.
Yes, Teen Scene is one of my favorite programs that Candlelighters offers. Our most recent one was sponsored by Kelly Namiro, where the teens were able to go to the Red Rock Casino and learn to bake their own pizza, get to watch the process, and then get to eat it, of course, which is the best part. But when I go to the hospital and I'm talking to our teens about the different programs that we offer, I first of all love that there's a program that I can direct to our teens. I'm not just talking to the parents. I get to offer them a space where they get to meet other kiddos that are either in treatment, recently out of treatment, or they've been out of treatment for years. Especially because a lot of our kids have to shift onto online school because they're spending so much time going through treatment. So Teen Scene allows them to have a social space with their peers.
Gotcha.
So it really is one of my favorite programs.
So, and just along those lines, so we talked about counseling. So we have more formal opportunities with counseling for, again, marriage, couple, for the diagnosed child, for siblings. We have support groups, art therapy and play therapy, and these are just resources that we're able to offer the family depending on the child's development age, and also support the parents. And all of our services are provided at no cost to the family. So
that's fantastic.
And I think one of the other benefits is that we're able to connect them very quickly to these resources. And when you're in crisis, you really need to be able to access strategies that will help you. And then, unfortunately, with our work, not every family has a successful battle, and so we're there to support the families, through loss, which is obviously very challenging.
Yes.
So while all of the teen scene and counseling is available to them, we have a special program each year called Day of Remembrance in September, which is an opportunity. We call them our angel families, can come together, and one of the things that we promise to do is always remember all of our kiddos, and that includes our angels. And so it's a really special moment for them to know that we're here to continue this journey as long as they need us.
Yes, that's a wonderful program.
Thank
too.
you.
Very wonderful program. Whoever came up with that idea, what a great idea. And Danny, so let's go to you now with the quality of life programs. There's all kinds of things you've got here. You've got Halloween bashes, you've got Thanksgiving meals, holiday adopt a family, birthday clubs, no more chemo parties, movie nights. Would you like to discuss some of these quality of life programs?
I would. One of my favorite things about Candlelighters is that once a Candlelighters family, always a Candlelighters family. And so we have opportunities for our families to continue to participate, whether it be that they just finished treatment and we get to throw them their no more chemo party at the clinic and celebrate with them because we've been through their journey with them, or it be something huge like Camp Firefly that we're preparing to go to this June, where we are currently taking 106 kids up to Camp Whittle in Big Bear, California, and it's just week-long packed of magic and fun. I wish that I knew the words to explain just how amazing it is, but it really is just an opportunity for our kids and their siblings to be kids and enjoy their time. And that translates through our different opportunities, some of which, like our Thanksgiving meals, where throughout these moments of crisis, our families can still have that special moment as a family without having to worry about the cost of groceries, especially as they continue to become more and more expensive for our families in Nevada, or adopt a family, which makes the holidays possible for our families throughout their moments in crisis. Our families, I cannot tell you just how much I see that it means to them to be able to not have to worry about going shopping. Sure. Even if they might have the funds, they still are able to focus on their child, or if they're a bereaved family, not have to worry about focusing on shopping and just be with their family during that time.
And just staying with that for a moment, the Thanksgiving meals, do you provide the meals and have them delivered to the homes, or do they all come to you and you have one big meal for all of the families? Is that how it works? Or
we actually provide it as a form of gift card because a lot of our families, they go on different types of diets when their kids are diagnosed, or they just have different types of diets. So that way with a grocery gift card, they can choose what they want to purchase.
Okay.
And we used to provide the meals. We have a very diverse population too, and so it's great, like you get a turkey, but we have families who are like, what am I gonna do with this, right? And so for us, it was really about, we want to just create a space and a moment. And I think the whole point of the quality of life programming is that these families, they're still looking to create moments of joy, yes, right? And also have memories that can be happy even though they're navigating something very challenging. And we know that those moments are equally as important to ensuring that everyone can get through this period of time, in the best possible way too.
Yes. Well, it's nice again on Thanksgiving, which is a family time, that you're letting them know that they're part of your family and you're part of theirs by giving them these vouchers or gift certificates, so they know they're not forgotten in the rush of the holiday season. So, okay, so let's talk about the financial assistance, and let's turn to you, Kimberly, on that. You've got travel for treatment, you've got transportation, bereavement assistance, emergency assistance, all kinds of financial assistance that you provide. Do you want to talk a little bit about that and how these people need financial assistance if they come to you, or
absolutely
how that works?
So family is prepared to hear the words that your child has cancer. And when that happens, childhood cancer is on average a 2.5 to 3.5 year time frame for treatment. So even families who might have been doing okay, the length of time and the intensity of the treatment like creates financial uncertainty for pretty much every family that we see. So we know that their most acute need, especially within that first 6 months of diagnosis, is financial assistance. Mm-hmm. And so we provide housing and mortgage assistance, medical copay reimbursement, and travel for treatment. And I'll touch upon that. There's research that suggests that 70% of families can't meet their basic needs like housing, transportation, utilities. And so we know that by being able to provide that to them, not only are we helping them navigate childhood cancer, but being able to meet those needs also increases the health outcomes for the child. So we focus on that. With medical copay reimbursement, obviously it's very expensive to have a chronic illness. And we know there's a significant need there. And then for travel for treatment, 40% of our families still have to travel out of state for treatment.
Oh, goodness.
Because we still don't have the pediatric specialty that many of them need in order to continue their treatment. And as you can imagine, a parent always has to go with a child, so now they're a separate household living in different states with additional needs that they wouldn't have otherwise needed. And so our whole goal is to alleviate some of that financial strain so that they can just focus on their child's well-being.
Sure. Now, do you help them if some of these children need operations and they have to go out of state? Do you help them find the hospitals where they need to go for treatment, or do they find that and come back to you and say, they're going to this hospital in California or Arizona or wherever?
So we work with their medical team. So there is a pediatric oncology clinic and hospital here in town, and our team, Danny spends a lot of time in both the clinic and hospital, is integrated with their medical team. And so when a plan of treatment is decided, we're there to help plan the logistics of travel, lodging. We provide them with reimbursement for food, gas, transportation as well. So typically our families will end in in California or Utah. So we help them navigate that, and then we check in with them regularly, just to see what else we can do for them.
Yeah, let them know that they're not a forgotten part of your family. Yes. Stay with us. We're going to take another sponsorship break, and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Introducing Pacific Coast Capital, your partner in finance. We provide financing for your business. Speed, flexibility, and creativity are the foundation of our service. We'll help you navigate through change and opportunities. Our 90-plus years of experience ensures quick turnaround on loan decisions. Ride the wave to prosperity with us. Ready for new funding? Visit our website today at pacificcoastcap.com.
And welcome back, everyone. And I'd like to thank Pacific Coast Capital for sponsoring this program too. If you're a company that's in need of having cash flow issues, please reach out to them. They'll be more than happy to help you. And welcome back, Kimberly and Danny. And in the last segment, we did talk. You touched a little bit, Danny, on Camp Firefly, and I'd like to talk a little bit more about that. Kimberly, do you have?
I'd love to talk about Camp Firefly.
Okay.
So every year in the summer, we have an annual summer camp. It's 5 days, 4 nights. And it's medically supervised so that patients who are going through treatment, survivors as well as siblings, can come to a space where we really focus on them being able to just be children. And we're in our 21st year of camp this year, and so it requires a huge commitment from our community. We take up about 70 volunteers in addition to our staff. And this year, Danny mentioned, we'll be bringing up 105 young people, which we're really thrilled with because, last year was the first year we brought camp back in an in-person setting since the pandemic, since we deal with medically fragile children. And we had to make changes to it last year because over the course of, those 3 to 4 years, camp was more expensive than it had been in 2019. So we're finally getting back to the number that we were in 2019, and so we're thrilled about that.
Yes.
And I think Danny talked a little bit about what it means to be able to go up, and when you're a kiddo who is spending all of their time in doctor visits, or trying to figure out what life looks like after treatment, or you're a sibling who's had more responsibilities in the household to help out mom or dad, their only mandate when they come up is to be silly and ridiculous and to be around people who understand them. And I think the other part besides, the kids is we have volunteers and staff who have a direct connection to childhood cancer, and some of them have been campers before, so they get to relive these experiences on the different end, providing the type of support that these kids are truly looking for and longing for. And so I think that's why it's such a magical time for all of us during that week.
And so the kids can come back. If they come this year, they can come back next year as well.
Correct. So the ages are 9 years old to 17 years old. So if they fall within that those age ranges, then they're absolutely welcome to come.
That was my next question, the age range. And now 9-year-olds have got very different interests than 17-year-olds when it comes to camping and entertainment and what have you. Do you have programs at these camp events that focus on the different age groups?
We do. So we call them villages. So we have 3 villages. We have our littles, our middles, and our bigs, our teens. And so they're divided out like in age appropriate groups. There are any number of activities like horse riding, ropes, that we make sure that it's appropriate for the different age groups, but they typically will spend times within those sections. Meal times and certain other times are all done together though. So
that makes sense.
And it's really nice because if you're 9 years old but your siblings 12 or 13, there's still opportunity for you to see them during that time period.
Yes. Well, meal times, kids are always hungry. They're always ready for food no matter what the age. So, okay, and now Danny, you also have scholarship programs. So how does that work, and how do you select the people who, to receive the scholarships? Do they have to apply, or how does that program work?
Yes, our scholarship opportunity opens every February. So our scholarship opportunity for this year has already closed, but it's a very pivotal opportunity, especially because the financial impact that a cancer diagnosis has on a family is oftentimes lifelong. Even if they've been out of treatment for a while, they're still going to feel the impact of those medical bills and the travel costs on that family, which is going to then have an impact on the child going to college, whether it be the survivor or the sibling. So we offer the scholarship opportunity to both. And this year we were able to award 29 recipients, mixed between survivors and siblings. And the way our application works is they get to complete an application, complete an essay, and then a video interview where our wonderful committee then goes through and makes that scholarship program possible. And it all culminates into a wonderful evening and a ceremony where we get to celebrate our survivors and siblings that are continuing their education. But one thing that I will mention that makes our Candlelighters scholarship opportunity a little bit different from the rest is that because we are childhood cancer focused, we understand if we're looking at a child's transcript and we can see the impact which the diagnosis had on their grades and GPA. And because we are so centered into this area, can understand that that's part of the diagnosis, part of the treatment. It's not always them.
Sure. And now, do they have a certain amount of money and then say, well, we like these 15, so let's divide it by 15 equally, or we like 18, or do you say we're going to give 10 scholarships? And
So we
Is the number elastic of individuals that get it, or is it
in previous years, that is how it was done. This year, for the first time, we actually just looked at our applicants, and instead of limiting it by the amount of money that we have, we just looked at our applicants, looked at their applications and their merits, and decided how much we should award them despite how much money we're working with.
Yeah, so with that though too, right? It's usually the scholarships range from $500 to $5,000. The committee that reviews all of them goes through and I don't want to say grades them, but grades them, right?
Sure.
So there are varying amounts within that amount depending on the different components of the application. Yeah,
needs as well.
But every individual who does apply receives something.
Yes. Hey, half loaf's better than no bread, that's for sure. Now, where do you get your funding from? Do you get government grants or donations from corporations or individuals or combinations of all three?
It's a combination. So we receive contributions from individuals as well as corporations. We also have funding from foundations, so family foundations. And then we do special events as well, that we raise money from those special events that then go in to support our programming.
Yes. Do you get anything from the state?
We do receive some funding from the state. And I'll talk a little bit more about our next plans, which definitely the state was a big part of helping fund that. But traditionally, our municipal, state, and federal grants are probably our smallest buckets of grants that we have.
Gotcha. And now, what about volunteer opportunities? Are you always looking for volunteers, and what qualifications are you looking for volunteers?
Well, as Kim had mentioned, a lot of our volunteers are made up of previous Candlelighters siblings and survivors, so my story is not unique. One of the wonderful things about having our large events is that we see a lot of our families come back and then give back to the community.
And so with that, our volunteers range in age from 13 to whatever, and we have any number of opportunities, including ones virtually. We have folks who can fill out birthday cards for our kiddos that we then mail to them. Around special events, there's any number of opportunities to come out and be involved. We also have a group that goes into the hospitals and helps with leading different activities as well. So there are any number of volunteer opportunities. I think last year we had 987 volunteers.
Oh my.
Giving over 10,000 plus hours. And so if there's anyone who's interested in being part of that, we have any number of opportunities.
Yes. Well, that's a very valid point. And if there's anybody out there listening that knows of anybody who would like to volunteer, donate, or could use the benefits of this program, please share this interview with them and let them know that this is a very worthwhile organization that exists. And they need money, they need volunteers, and it would all be appreciated. And I'd like to thank both of you for coming on the program today. Kimberly and Danny, thank you for what you're doing for the Candlelighters. It's an amazing operation, and you're really doing wonders. You're doing absolute wonders for the people in our state with cancer. And congratulations again on your remission. Congratulations on the 45-year anniversary. That's quite amazing. And we wish you great success in the future, next 45 years. And I'd like to thank John Stars, our show's producer and station owner of WWDB-TV. I'd also like to thank our sponsors, Pacific Coast Capital and Lucia Financial Capital. And our last sponsor is RJ Champion, my business partner. You'll hear his message right at the end of this program. And I'd like to thank you, the viewers, for tuning in. We hope you found this program informative, and as I said, please share with anyone that you know that might benefit or be willing to donate or volunteer. It would be greatly appreciated. And if you have any questions or comments, please reach out to me, Stephen at thegiftofgiving.vegas. And also, before we close out, I'd like to have Kimberly give out their contact information if somebody needs to reach out to them. So would you like to give out your website address and your phone number, please?
Absolutely. You can visit us at candlelightersnv.org or give us a call at 702-737-1919.
There you go. And hopefully you'll take a note on that. And thank you again, viewers, for tuning in. I hope you will tune in again next week. In the meantime, stay safe, be kind to one another, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you. Goodbye.
Mr. R.J. Champion is proud to sponsor WWDB-TV's series, The Gift of Giving, and wishes the program much success. Congratulations and gratitude to the featured guests and the organizations they represent. Our community is well served by your tireless efforts to make Nevada a better state for all its residents.